What's the one part of the IELTS speaking test that causes the most confusion, but actually holds the key to unlocking a top-tier score? Hint, it's probably not what you think. Welcome to the Explainer by IELTS Guide Phil on YouTube. Just look at that number, 25%. A full quarter of your entire IELTS speaking score comes down to just one thing, your pronunciation. That's right, it has the exact same weight as your fluency, your vocabulary, and your grammar. This isn't just a minor detail, it's a huge piece of the puzzle. And that's exactly why we're digging into it today. As IELTS Guide Phil puts it, getting this right can literally bump you up to the next level. But here's the big secret, and it's a relief. This is not about getting rid of your accent. It's about clarity and control. So what is an examiner actually listening for? What's going through their head? There's this huge myth that you need some kind of perfect British or American accent, but the truth, it's so much simpler than that. They just want to know, can I understand you easily? It all comes down to effective communication. To really get this, we've got to look at the official rulebook, the IELTS band descriptors. Once you understand the exact words they use, it kind of takes all the mystery out of it. You'll know exactly what you need to aim for. So let's compare two key levels. Okay, check out the difference in the language here. At a band 6, you're generally understood, right? But misunderstandings can happen. Now look at band 8. The new goal is to be easy to understand throughout. And see that part about the accent? It only matters if it gets in the way of being understood. That's the key. And this right here is the core message from IELTS Guide Phil. Your accent is part of who you are, it's part of your identity, and the IELTS test totally respects that. The goal is never ever to eliminate it. It's just to fine-tune your pronunciation so all your brilliant ideas come through loud and clear. So how do we actually build that clarity? Well, IELTS Guide Phil breaks it down into this really simple, really powerful framework. Instead of thinking of pronunciation as this one big, scary monster, we can tackle it in 4 manageable chunks. Let's call them the 4 pillars. Our first pillar is the foundation of everything, making sure your individual sounds are clear. Getting those vowels and consonants just right. This is super important because a small mix-up, like between ship and sheep, can completely change your meaning and confuse the listener. Okay, on to our second pillar, word stress. Think of this as the heartbeat inside a word. Deciding which part of the word to emphasize is one of the biggest clues you give your listener to help them recognize it. If you get the stress wrong, even a common word can sound completely foreign. Pillar number 3 is all about the flow, the music of your sentences. See, native speakers don't talk like this with a space between every word. Instead, the words link together smoothly. We call this connected speech, and it's what makes you sound so much more natural and fluent. And finally, our fourth pillar is intonation. This is the melody of your speech. The way your voice goes up and down tells people if you're asking a question or making a statement. It adds emotion. It shows if you're excited or maybe a little unsure. It adds a whole other layer of meaning. Okay, that's the theory, but you're probably thinking, where do I even begin? IELTS Guide Phil recommends focusing your energy on the techniques that will give you the biggest, fastest results. Let's look at the 2 absolute game changers. So, if you're short on time, these are the 2 things to practice: mastering word stress and connecting your words. Why these 2? Because they have the single biggest impact on how easy you are to understand and how natural you sound. Nailing these will give you the most bang for your buck, for sure. Let's look at a perfect example of word stress. Take the word spelled, R-E-C-O-R-D. If you put the stress on the first part, record, it's a noun, like a vinyl record. But if you shift the stress to the second part, record, it becomes a verb, like to record a video. It's the same exact spelling, but a totally different word, all because of stress. And now for connecting words, listen to this. Instead of saying an apple, with that little stop in the middle, a native speaker will naturally link them. The N sound at the end of an just slides right over to the A in apple, so it sounds like an apple. It's a small tweak, but it instantly makes you sound way more fluid. Look, mastering these 4 pillars isn't something you do overnight. It's a journey and it takes practice. But the great news is that IELTS Guide Phil has created a bunch of resources to help you every step of the way. You can go way deeper by reading the full blog post over at IELTSGuidePhil.com. Of course, you can watch more explainers just like this one right here on the YouTube channel. You can also listen to the podcast on Spotify or get support from others in the Facebook community. All of the links for those are waiting for you in the description below. And if you're looking for that next level of improvement with personalized one-on-one feedback, IELTS Guide Phil also offers an online coaching service. If you're interested, just drop a question in the comments to find out more. So, what's your first move going to be? Thinking about those 4 pillars we talked about: clear sounds, word stress, connected speech, or intonation. Which one are you going to start practicing today? Let us know down in the comments.